Hey, it's Tyler, host of the Tyler Knows Everything podcast, where the nose is crossed out because I always want to learn more. My guest today is super interesting and highly intelligent. At the young age of 22, he was the only employee at the Homewood Suites in Beaumont, Texas during Tropical Storm Imelda. He had to take care of all the duties of the entire hotel for around 100 guests, which also included taking care of stranded motorists on the side of Interstate 10, and also guests from other hotels that didn't have any food to eat. Please welcome Satchel Smith.
From the fight, I need a hero. I'm old enough for a hero till the morning light. They've gotta be short, and they've gotta be soon, and they gotta be larger than life, larger than life.
All right, everybody, we're here with Satchel Smith, and is it 21 years old?
I'm 22 now.
22, but 21 during
Yes,
the time of, it was Tropical Depression Imelda, turned into a tropical storm, and you were an employee at the Homewood Suites, right?
Yes, sir.
And you had been there for about a year?
Yeah, just made a year, actually.
Yeah, and so you were previously working just one day a week part-time, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you're a full-time student at Lamar University, and were you running on the track team as well?
I still run on track.
Okay. What's your events?
Right now in indoor, I run the 60 and the 200. Outdoor, I run the 1, the 2, and the 4x4.
Oh, wow. What's some of your times?
I ran 10-6 and 100,
Whoa.
and I run 21-21 in the 200.
That's pretty moving there. So take me back to Wednesday, September the 18th. It's probably around 2 o'clock. Were you still at home getting ready for work at that time?
Well, actually, I just dropped my car off to the dealership, and my dad picked me up from the dealership, and then I went straight to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you dropping it off for something non-storm related?
Yeah, I was just dropping it off to get basically get some stuff looked at, and like they called me around. They said my car was ready at 6, but I told them I'd come and get it the next day.
Yeah,
And,
sure. Was it one of the dealerships off the freeway?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
it was actually the Mercedes dealership.
And so did your car flood?
Yeah, at the dealership.
Wow. So your car gets flooded. Your dad drops you off to work at 3 o'clock on Wednesday, and and what we'll find out is you ended up working 32 hours straight all by yourself at the Homewood Suites. And so just kind of tell us how everything unfolded after you get to work that day. It was already raining, but it hadn't flooded quite yet.
Yeah. So basically around 7-ish, 7 to 8, my coworker contacted me and said like she's not gonna be able to come to work, which I mean I wasn't expecting the rain to just sit over us. So I was just like, I don't really know what to do. I have class in the morning, so I'm really just focused on getting to class.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, it's starting to like flood really bad around my house, and I don't know how I'm gonna be able to get to you. So I'm like,
And at that time, there's no managers, no
nope.
coworkers. You're just at the front desk at that time.
yeah, I'm just
So-
at the front desk.
There's nobody there to cook dinner. There's nobody there to do laundry, bring towels to people.
Yeah, everybody had already left, and I was just like, well, I guess it's just gonna be me.
Yeah. And so dinner time comes, and this is one of those hotels that they serve breakfast. You know, it's like a hot breakfast, like a full meal,
Yeah.
hot dinner. So what happens then?
Dinner time comes. Actually, the dinner time stops at 7, so they had literally like just left, and she was like, oh, I'm about to get out of here before the rain get too bad. And
What time were you supposed to get off?
11 o'clock.
Okay, 11 p.m. Yeah. And that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So what happens next after everyone goes home and you're there by yourself and it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night? You've got about 100 people that are staying there?
About 90.
About 90? Okay.
So I was just sitting there. I was like, okay, we're going to have to see if somebody can come to work because I have class in the morning. So
Yeah.
I was calling my managers and calling my other coworkers, and like none of them were able to like get to me. And my other manager, she was in Louisiana at another job. So I was really just like, all right, well, I'm gonna just stay until the morning and see if I'll be able to get out then. But so I just basically did the night out of shift, and probably 5 o'clock, Mr. Donald got up, and he works with like the plants and stuff. So he was getting ready to go to work, but it was raining too bad. So he turned around. He said, "Well, it looked like we're gonna be all stuck here."
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Yeah, everybody's gonna get hungry. So I mean, you might want to make some breakfast or something." I said,
And that's usually not in your job, right?
Yeah. I was like, "I don't really know how to cook." So I mean, he's like, "I mean, I come in there and help you if you want me to." And I mean, because at first I was just gonna put like the coffee out, which I already had that out at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I put out some toast and some cereal, but he was like, "Well, we're gonna have to get him some hot breakfast because we're gonna be here all day." And you know, people get grumpy once they're hungry. So
Yeah. So it turned out that some of the guests actually helped you cook breakfast. Yeah. And that's really good that everybody could come together, because Thursday is probably when the most activity was happening. That's when people were getting stranded on the freeway. People couldn't get in or out of the hotel.
Yeah.
So you actually had guests that were helping stranded motorists, right? What were they doing?
So they were on they had 18-wheelers like stuck on the highway for about probably 4+ hours, and some of the guests, they just walked across, we had a puddle of water and basically on the feeder road to get to the location where it was at, and you had to walk across there to get to the highway. So they walked through there to get them waters and chips and stuff like that.
Wow. And then you also had fire alarms going off, security alarms, the computers were down, you probably had hit or miss internet.
Yeah, so in the elevator, the water started coming through the top of the elevator.
Oh, man.
So that's what kind of set the fire alarms off, and it kept triggering it. So we had to shut the elevators down in the hotel.
So everybody had to use stairs.
Yeah.
And then it starts. Did you take on any water from like in the lobby?
No, we actually didn't receive any water.
Oh, okay. Just couldn't get in or out. Yeah. There was a guest quote. I saw several of the news stories that you were on, and one of the guests said, "I've seen a big teddy bear of a man washing dishes and serving eggs, a little grandmother wiping down tables, a man drenched in water from head to toe because he crossed Interstate 10 to deliver bottles of water to truck drivers that were stranded." So it was really cool to see a lot of those people turn into, crisis mode, helping each other out. And there was another quote that said, I think it was Miss Hall. I guess she's one of the general managers that was out of town. Was it Elena Hall? And I guess at some point you guys had gotten in, or she found out that you were the only employee at the hotel, part-time employee. And she said, just hang in there. Somebody's trying to get there. Just do the best you can. And that's really the amount of help that you had. You're kind of on your own at that point. And so I guess, did Lamar end up canceling class on Thursday?
Yeah, we found out about probably 5 a.m., 6 a.m. that they were canceling class. They shot out the emergency email that they usually do when they have a storm.
Because you were real concerned about missing class, right? I guess you're a pretty good student. Your grades are good, and that's a big priority for you.
Yeah.
There's another guest quote said, "I'm looking at my table and see a leftover bagel from breakfast, my hot cup of tea, cozy socks, and dry tennis shoes. I am thankful for each of these things and for the peace in knowing that my family is safe and sound. Please pray for us and that we can each make it home safely to each of our families." That's really powerful that, just something simple like having hot coffee ready in the morning, just like as usual. A lot of those people woke up expecting chaos, and they said that every time they saw you, you had a smile on your face, right?
Yeah. I mean, I always smile, so I mean, smile brings joy to people.
Yeah, and I think, working 32 hours straight during a disaster in a time like this, some people might say, well, you have the refinery workers or the police officers and the firefighters, they do that anyways. Sometimes they're working for days on ends or 24-hour shifts or whatnot. But I think what's important about your story is that you're 21 years old, you're a full-time college student, you were typically working part-time just one day a week at this. You're not on a management level or some high pay scale where you're making the big bucks and this is just what you do. There's so many 21-year-olds that being faced with this situation and be like, peace, I'm out. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not going to take care of 100 people or learn to cook and cook for 100 people, plus other hotels that are coming, plus stranded motorists. So I think that's the big deal about this story, is that it's uncommon that you would find a 21-year-old or a young man of your age that would stick through, you know, this and do it with a smile on your face. You know, I don't know if I could do all of these things with a smile on your face. So some of the residents or some of the guests started posting on social media, and then what happened? It kind of went viral.
Yeah, actually, so she asked me could she take a picture of me. I didn't know she was going to post it or anything.
Oh, okay.
But, so she posted the picture, and then, like, probably within, like, 2 or 3 hours, it just started going everywhere, and then everybody started calling me and stuff like that. And, I mean, and then my coworker came in, actually, that night around, 10 o'clock?
Okay. And this is probably Friday, maybe?
Yeah, I think Friday. Yeah, Friday.
Because Friday, it was around 10 o'clock where you got your first little bit of a break, right? And so what did you do? You took a nap?
Well, I helped her out for like another hour.
Okay.
So
your coworker arrives and you still don't leave. You stay
Yeah.
for another hour to get everybody situated.
Yeah, and then they had a room for me so I can take a nap. But so I took a nap, got up around 5, worked out like I always do, and
Okay, look. so you just worked 32 hours. We had the storm. After the end of the 32 hours, you get to take a quick nap, and then you wake up at 5 a.m. and work out?
Yeah. And then
And it's back to helping again.
yeah, I went back up there to help. But the whole time, I mean, my teammates kept calling me. My best friend, his name is Christian. He was trying to come to the job to come get me from the job the whole time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I stayed at the job for what? I left at Saturday morning about maybe 2 because the news people kept trying to come and do reports and stuff like that. So
all during that time, you had offers for people to come get you, friends and family members and teammates, but you didn't want to leave.
well, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really just helping Ashley while I was still there. So
Sure. Yeah, that's very admirable. So yeah, Tropical Depression Imelda turned Southeast Texas into a disaster zone. It dumped more than 40 inches of rain. Hundreds of homes were flooded, and thousands of people were rescued from floodwaters. And it looks like at least 5 people died as a result of the flood. Did some of the guests have to be evacuated by helicopter?
they did have some guests getting evacuated because we saw the helicopters flying over the job and stuff. The phones was basically ringing off the hook the whole entire night, everybody trying to get hotels. The people that's from the next day, they kept calling, telling us they're still coming, but it wasn't no way for them to come. So
Yeah.
I was trying to basically get them to embrace that. Oh, you can't get to the hotel. We'll rearrange to where you can still come the following day when you're able to make it.
Wow.
But they insisted on trying to make it, but they found after a while and they actually realized what was actually going on, then they quickly understood what was happening.
Yeah. So your morale was high and positive. You were smiling. What were some of the guests like?
The guests was actually very helpful. All of them really just basically was trying to help. They was kind of getting upset because I wouldn't actually let them help.
Yeah.
Like Miss Angela, she kept wanting to answer the phones for me. She kept telling me to sit down and all of this.
Yeah.
And she was kind of getting upset because I wouldn't let her answer the phones because that's their home.
I think that brings up a good point of mirroring personalities. If you were to have a bad attitude, some of those guests might be likely to have a bad attitude and things escalate. And then you've got a hotel of 100 people that are mad. But because you stayed smiling the whole time and helpful and kind of putting those positive vibes out there, it was contagious with the hundreds of guests, and they wanted to help, and it made everybody a community. You were an island of a city for a little bit. You put everybody in a room together. That could be a good experiment or a bad experiment, depending on how it goes. So you must have gotten lots of recognition after the fact. I know you're a very humble man, so you don't want to brag a little bit, but I wanted to talk about some of the things that came as a result of this.
Well, I got to meet George P. Bush.
Yeah.
I met the Attorney General. I met the Senator. I've been in Time Magazine.
Yeah, so I just recently saw on your Instagram story you had Time Magazine Person of the Year, which was the edition with Greta was on the cover, and then in the pages I guess what do? They highlight other notable.
They picked 4 other people.
Oh wow,
including Greta.
And so what happened? Did you get a phone call, or how did Time Magazine reach you?
She reached out to me through Twitter, which I don't actually use social media that much. So.
Yeah, I couldn't find you on Facebook. For everybody listening, this is the first time we've ever met.
Yeah.
I found you on Instagram, and just slide into your DMs like you do everybody else. See if I can get you on the show. As soon as I heard this story, I said I got to find this guy. I got to talk to him because it's something rare. But going back to Time Magazine.
Yeah, she actually direct messaged me, and I saw it and I read it. I was like, Time Magazine. I said, oh, wow, this actually getting bigger and bigger. I said, wow. I said, I would love. I mean, she gave me a number. We talked on the phone, talked about everything. She asked about other guests and stuff like that, and it just went from there.
Wow. And so, what do they call those other 4? Is it People of the Year, or they're just kind of highlighting some notable stories of 2019?
Yeah.
I've got to
have the Person of the Year and the People of the Year.
People of the Year. Okay. Yeah. Time Magazine People of the Year. I'm gonna get a copy on my way home. I've got to save one of those. Are you a Greta fan?
Yeah, actually.
She's 16. So
she's 16 years old.
It looks like they featured a lot of young people this year. So this is one of the first podcasts that I made so many notes because there's so many things to unpack here. So what's it been like going back to school, and have you seen that positive energy kind of inspire others to be a better person?
Yes, I mean, it's kind of different. I mean, my teammates, they like joke around with it. They make fun of it and all of that. My coach, he jokes around with it as well. I mean, we're like a big family, so. And like the other students that's people walked up to me, speak to me, people I never even met before. I mean, it's kind of different. It's kind of like being a celebrity, some type of thing.
Yeah, a little bit. Did you originally grow up around here?
Yeah, I went to Westbrook High School, actually.
Okay, yeah, so you have quite a few people that know you in this area then. Well, you said that you don't see yourself as heroic. You just did the right thing in a disastrous situation. And there's a quote that I also saw on the news. I wanted to read it. This is a quote from you saying, "I was always going to be there for them. I would never plan on leaving. I don't consider myself a hero. That's just what I would do. I think anybody would do the same thing."
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't do the same thing, that would have just cut and run and not helped those people. So I think it is very admirable, and that's why a lot of these people in Texas legislation and Time Magazine wanted to meet you and wanted to hear your story. And, for me as well, I wanted to hear it firsthand from somebody that was there any crazy stories that maybe happened during that time that you didn't get to share with the news? You've got 32 hours of chaos. There had to have been something funny.
Like it was really just moving so fast. I really wasn't even trying to.
Yeah. Did it even feel like? I guess sometimes work goes slow when you're at a hotel. Maybe working a night shift or working a day shift. There's not much happening, but it probably felt like that 32 hours just went by like that.
Yeah, it really did. Because I mean, it was like nonstop. It was like everybody calling. The phones was constantly ringing.
Yeah, you probably couldn't get anything done.
Yeah, and I mean, I had to move like everybody days back, and that was already in the hotel. I had to give them extra days so they can, because they couldn't leave. So
right.
So I had to extend everybody's stay. That's like 90 people, and then our phones ringing as well. And then I'm talking to the guests and getting them towels and all of that. So I mean,
did you have to bring people stuff? Say someone's on the 3rd floor and when I'm at a hotel and I'm like, hey, can I get some more towels?
Oh, yeah.
And somebody were you like, hey man, I'm here by myself. Can you come down here and get the towels? Or did you go ahead and take them up there?
Well, they were pretty understanding. So most of them just came down and just
all right,
was like, I need this. I mean, then I just had to walk to like the like down the hallway and get it for him. But
Yeah.
that really wasn't nothing.
There you go. And then still to this day, you're working there.
Yeah.
Right? You got to go to work today.
Well,
Or
we
you
actually
gotta-
just have a meeting today.
But you're working Christmas Eve, right? So
Christmas Day.
You're working Christmas Day? Come on, Satchel. They, Homewood Sweets needs to give you a day off. What were some things that Homewood Sweets did to kind of recognize this occasion?
Well, I met with Rick Collins. He's the what is he?
High up in corporate?
Yeah, he's high up in corporate. We did like a little commercial interview. I'm going to California actually in February, and to go to the little press conference thing, and they want to do like an interview with me there as well. It's supposed to be like 16,000 people or something like that.
Oh man.
And yeah, so I'm kind of nervous about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never been in front of that many people.
Man, well, that's going to be exciting. You'll definitely have to take some pictures of that occasion. What's the next big thing for Satchel Smith?
Graduate. Well, win conference first.
Oh yeah, because track season runs. It's more a springtime sport?
Well, we're in indoor right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then we have outdoor. So win conference indoor. Hopefully win conference outdoor. And I mean, next up, graduation. Really.
Yeah. So are you in your senior year now? It was junior at the time of Imelda, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh well, so if I take a couple summer classes, which I'm still debating on if I want to do that, I can graduate in August, but I still have another year of eligibility left. So.
Oh, nice. And what's your degree plan?
I'm studying biochemistry right now.
Goodness. So that's definitely a full. You've got heavy science labs. Labs are, they take.
Yeah, they take.
Back when I was in school, you would have to.
Time-consuming.
Yeah, very time consuming. It's very hard to have a part-time job in addition to taking heavy science courses. And then you've got lots of math courses. What do you want to do with your biochemistry degree?
Honestly, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was fun at the time, but I feel like it's not really what I want. I feel like I got into it for the money. So
Yeah.
It's not really making me happy at the moment. So I mean, I might just go back to school probably to get another degree.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are out there working with a degree that's unrelated to their career, and they find that career that they're happy in. So you do some of the sprint races.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever ran a mile as fast as you can?
Nah.
You stick to 200 meters, and
I get tired too fast.
Oh, okay.
My leg's short.
Yeah. What about an 800? Is 800 too long?
Yeah, that's too long.
Too
Too. I barely can run the 400. Well,
Oh,
they forced me to run the 400.
What's your fastest 400 ever?
49.
49.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Which I mean,
Are you on any of the relays?
I run the 4x4 and the 4x1 outdoor.
Okay. And what leg are you in the?
The 4x4, he usually put me around third leg. 4x1, I'm either second or fourth leg.
Okay. Nice.
So,
any goals for track beyond college?
I mean, I would love to go pro, but I mean,
Or did you use track as a way to get yourself to college? And
I mean, that was always the main goal, just to get to college. So, I mean, because I actually transferred into Lamar. I went to school at Graceland in Iowa. So.
Oh, okay. Was that a scholarship from Westbrook?
I got a scholarship from Westbrook because, I mean, I got injured my senior season. So they still kept the offer, and I just went there. I didn't actually run there, though. They had my scholarship, and then I told them I was going to transfer back, and Coach Clark came and gave me another opportunity, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on today. I was really excited to meet you. Hear your story firsthand, and I'm a big proponent of positive energy and smiling and mirroring that personality to other people. I think this is a great case study of how it worked in real life. You've got a bunch of people that could have been angry for 32 hours, and they rose to the occasion because I think they were feeding off of your positive energy and your helpful nature. So just want to encourage people to do that as well, and for you to do that the rest of your life. I think you'll always be successful in anything you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
See y'all next time.
I see you.
I'm holding up over here till the morning light. And they gotta be sure, they gotta be soon, and they gotta be larger than life. Larger than life. meet the heavens above, where the lightning splits the sea. I could swear there's someone somewhere watching me. Yeah. Through the wind and the chill and the rain and the storm and the flood, I can feel his approaching, the fire in my blood, and the fire in my blood. I need a hero. I'm old enough for a hero till the end of the night. And they gotta be strong, and they gotta be fast, and they gotta be first from the fight. I need a hero. I'm old enough for a hero till the morning light. They've gotta be short, and they've gotta be soon, and they gotta be loud to the light. Light to the light. Oh, oh, oh.